I found myself on Perfume Talk today, which is Perfume TikTok or Fragrance Talk, whatever they call it.
I am not even kidding. I am about to block the words perfume talk because the way these perfume TikTokers describe fragrance, it makes you feel like you need every single one. I am catching myself over consuming and over purchasing like I wouldn't believe.
And I hate to be the one to say it, the overconsumption on these higher end products like perfumes and colognes can get very expensive, and it's keeping a lot of y'all broke. I don't give a damn! Perfumes have symbolized luxury and status since ancient Egypt, where they were used by pharaohs and high-ranking officials. In Renaissance Europe in the 17th and 18th century of France, perfumes signified wealth and sophistication amongst royalty. Today, modern designer perfumes like Chanel No. 5 continue this tradition, reinforcing the idea that owning high-end fragrances marks wealth and success.
This video is for all the girls who want to smell bomb as fuck, but broke as fuck. Okay, period.
I would ask, is the smell of wealth worth you really being broke in real life? Now, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I'd rather have the smell of real life brokenness than fake wealth. But I understand everybody is not me. And if you really don't have the funds to be doing all this and you find yourself with this obsession for perfumes and the overconsumption of perfumes and colognes, you can put yourself in a bad spot. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2023, the median annual wage for U.S. workers was $48,060. A good rule of thumb is to put aside 15% of what you make pre-tax each month for investing into your future. Depending on each individual, you could be spending a large amount of your monthly take-home on these high luxury products such as colognes and perfumes, and you may not even realize it.
What are you doing?
Texting.
Texting who?
My sister.
Perfume prices may vary, with mass market perfumes going from around $20 to $60, designer perfumes going from around $60 to $150, and niche or luxury perfumes can be anywhere between $150 to $300 plus for one bottle. Large quantities of perfume, or just maybe one perfume bottle that is luxury, alone can go near over 10% of what some Americans make in 1 month. Just to put this in perspective, most experts say that you shouldn't even exceed 10 to 20% of what you make monthly on a car. If you don't have money set aside for your emergency fund, savings account, 401k, brokerage account, etc., and you have all this money for perfumes, perhaps the priorities are a little bit out of whack, y'all. I just have to call it what it is. And we shouldn't prioritize these items. The influencer marketing on Perfume Talk or Fragrance Talk, whatever y'all want to call that on TikTok, is ridiculous. And even on YouTube, I've seen a lot of people who have collections, massive collections of perfume that they will show to their audience. Perfume companies often use marketing strategies such as limited edition releases, exclusive scents, social media influencers, and celebrity endorsements to create a sense of urgency and desire. These tactics can make consumers feel compelled to purchase perfumes out of fear of missing out, also known as FOMO, on the latest trends or rare products. For the person on the receiving end watching the videos, if you do not have these large perfume collections, I fear that a lot of people may feel they need to have these large collections because, once again, somebody is online telling you, hey, this is the newest thing and it's great. This is the newest fragrance. You need to run out and get it. And when does it stop? When do we ever say enough is enough? When are we satisfied with all of the things that we currently have and stop chasing things that we don't?
I'm going to tell you right now. Do not join Perfume TikTok because these women have expensive taste and they will have you out here buying stuff that you cannot afford. Every week, Klarna, Afterpay, Zip, all of them will be jumping you in your bank account every week because you done bought something else that you didn't even know that you wanted, needed, whatever the case. They will convince you. And I am a victim. And before you know it, you'll be looking for your next hit because now you're a fragrance addict.
Fragrance TikTok, stop scrolling. Come here. Are we collectors or are we hoarders? Because why are we buying every single viral TikTok shop fragrance every week? One, how are we affording this? Two, what happened to the 10 fragrances you purchased last month? Did you forget about them? Have you been actually rotating through them? I don't know. Maybe it's because I took a couple month hiatus and like my brain has been able to remove itself from the endless doom scrolling and the normalization of buying that much fragrance every month. Like this year, I've only purchased maybe 10 bottles. And I know that sounds crazy to the average person, but for a collector, 10 bottles in 6 months into the year that we are right now isn't much. Let's get back to buying what we smelled and enjoyed and not what somebody else told us smells attractive. I just think it's getting a little crazy.
I will say if you don't find happiness in yourself, you will just keep buying products because there will always and forever be a new product and somebody that is willing to sell you a product. And I would ask, when is there a level of self-accountability that needs to be had in self-control? And trust me, I understand that influencer marketing and marketing period is very, very powerful. It makes you feel like you need to go out and get the newest thing. But if we're putting ourselves into bad financial situations trying to buy all these things, when do we look at ourselves and say, maybe we should stop? Maybe we don't have to participate in the overconsumption of products that we don't need.
You don't need any more perfume this month.
From what I understand, a lot of perfume and cologne purchases have a lot to do with emotional and psychological satisfaction that people get from these purchases.
As a perfume addict, here are some ways I justify purchasing my perfumes. I really like to make fun of myself because I'm ridiculous. I just got paid. Of course I'm going to buy a new perfume. Going on a first date? Yes, I'm going to buy a new perfume. Did I break up with somebody? Yes. So now I'm sad, so I'm going to buy a new perfume, but I also have to declutter the perfume that I had with that person because I don't want that scent memory anymore. I'm going on vacation. Of course I have to buy some new perfumes. And while I'm on vacation, I have to buy some perfumes of that place. So when I come home from my vacation, I remember it through that perfume. Am I bored? Am I depressed, anxious, angry, uncomfortable, in a weird mood? I'm probably going to buy a perfume. And then I'm going to be anxious and depressed that I bought the perfumes because I feel guilty and ashamed for buying so many perfumes. I'm just going to go ahead and declutter half of my perfume collection to justify the fact that I'm going to buy more perfumes. And I'm definitely going to be influenced by people on TikTok. I find a discount coupon code that will justify the purchase being a little less. I will definitely buy them. So there you have it. Some ridiculous ways I justify my perfume purchases.
Y'all, these perfume collections are out of hand. Now, I could see maybe we have like 10 perfumes, but there are some people who are literally filling a whole room full of perfumes.
This is my pretty large perfume collection. Before you say, you can never wear all of those fragrances, oh my God, that's too much. I don't care. So I am unapologetic about what makes me happy. And in this life, we should enjoy the things that make us happy. So this perfume collection makes me happy. Oh, but you thought I was done showing you everything? Here's a few more. Some more right there. Yes, I have more. But you know what's really the problem? Is where do I put all the new ones that I just got?
Now, I don't see a problem filling a whole room full of perfumes if you're rich and you can afford these things and you have endless amount of money and you already have your financial future set up. You have money for retirements, you have investments, all these things that people that have real wealth already have. But the average everyday person going out and trying to emulate these sort of lifestyles that you see on these YouTube videos and on these TikTok videos of having rooms full of perfume.
I'm sorry, I just had to flex on these hoes a little bit.
In my opinion, is unrealistic and it fuels overconsumption and keeps you buying new colognes and perfumes every time that there is a new release. This is very dangerous, y'all, because these things are not cheap. From what I understand, a lot of times fragrance was associated with wealth. You ever been around somebody wealthy and everyone's like, oh, they smell so good or they smell like money. And nowadays we have aesthetics that say these wild claims of like, oh, if you want to smell like old money.
You want to smell like a rich bitch? I have no qualifications as a certified middle-class woman.
Or you want to give rich girl vibes.
I said, wow, this smells like a rich woman in France. And it's literally, that's what it's supposed to be.
A lot of times they tie how you smell to wealth.
This is what a lot of rich women wear. So if you want to smell like the classic rich old money woman.
It's not just about the smells, y'all. It's about the actual thing that you're doing, which is collecting something that is very expensive when you may not have money for these things in real life.
This smells like a clean, fancy, rich woman.
And what I mean by having money in real life for these things is if you're buying all these perfumes and these fragrances and you don't have your financial situation set up for the future like these rich people people do, in my opinion, you're doing it wrong. I think what it comes off more as is you trying to look like the people who actually are wealthy and do what they do, but they also are prepared for hard times. They're prepared for emergencies. I really wish that we would stop chasing after things that we see rich people do or people who are associated with wealth do when we're not wealthy. We can at least prioritize our futures, but we're just so backwards. We just think we can buy our way into social status and have a little bit more proximity to real wealth.
So there you have it, some of my rich girl perfumes.
I truly do not believe that people who do not have the funds to buy these things are buying it strictly because they just like the way it smells or they want to smell good. Now, there are people who just love fragrances. I know people that are like that. But I do think that a lot of the things that people do is because we see people with wealth do them, because people with wealth have large collections of things. They have nice setups, etc., etc. And that is something that a lot of viewers and people that watch these videos, I think, want to emulate and look up to and aspire to do.
Today I'm going to be organizing my super small perfume collection, and I got this label maker, so we're going to be organizing it by category. After 5 hours, she's officially done, and y'all, I think that I'm in love. Let me know what you think of the whole system.
I frequently see people say they aspire to have these large collections of people who seemingly have wealth. It's starting to come off like we're saying we aspire to overconsume, because even if you're wealthy, some of these amounts of items in these quantities are very wasteful. There is no way that a lot of these people can even use all of these perfumes in one lifetime. And they do expire and the scents change over time. And it's like this with a lot of other products that people overconsume on and they sit on the shelf. You only have one body. You can only give off so much scent at a time. Not saying that it's not a great thing to smell good, but I think that we have to have some discernment and start having some limits and have some self-control. You do not need a whole room full of perfume. And you definitely don't need a whole room of perfume when you're broke. I don't know what, what is going on, y'all? And then on top of that, these influencers are telling y'all that y'all need a new fragrance every week, and a lot of y'all are so stuck in this obsession. You're going out and buying these fragrances blind and going broke to do it. You don't have money saved for real life stuff, but these fragrances are not going to pay your bills. Like, I don't understand why we are like this with everything seemingly in life. Overconsumption and consumerism has taken over.
I literally have to be a physician because why are my hobbies so expensive? Why do I have such bougie taste? Like, my hobby right now, guys, is perfume. I don't have perfume money. So what I had to do is I started a Scent subscription. When I first got into perfumes months ago, my impulse control was out of whack. Like, I would see a perfume and I'll smell it once in Ulta and be like, oh my gosh, I love it. Like, whenever it got on sale, I'll buy a full bottle. I did not have full bottle money, okay? So I just told myself since then, since my credit score took a little ding, we've recovered. But I told myself, girl, you can only get samples, perfume, guys.
And I want to clarify, I don't think that having a collection of perfume or having a hobby of liking scents or fragrance is inherently a bad thing. But what I do think, in no matter what form, fashion, or day of the week, is a bad thing and can be dangerous is overconsumption. Because I feel like if you can overconsume in one area of your life, you can overconsume in many other areas because you don't have limits. That is why I think overconsumption is so dangerous. In everything that you do in life, there is somebody out there marketing to you how to overconsume this hobby or just anything that you've taken interest into. And where does it end? When is enough ever enough? How many fragrances do you need to have to be truly satisfied? What scent is it going to be to make you say, I'm finally happy with my collection and I don't need to buy anymore? I think if you ask yourself these questions and you find yourself saying, I don't know, or there is not one scent, it would seem to me that you're on a hamster wheel that is forever spinning. And I don't know if you will be able to get off unless you understand that it's not going to stop. And I'm no expert on anything, but I feel like people are chasing something that they don't really even know how to get. So they just continuously keep chasing it and chasing it. And in this chase, you're actually just buying stuff and you're never really fulfilled. But when I say chase, it also makes me think maybe you're also running away from something, running away from the truth. And the truth is, if you cannot afford these sort of things, it don't matter how fast you try to run away from overconsumption, your bank account is going to catch up with you. If you really cannot afford to be doing this stuff that you see people doing online, I understand people love these collections and they love fragrance and it's a hobby and this is the thing that makes them happy. Like, I've heard it all, y'all. But the truth of the matter is, you can't outrun real life with you just doing stuff you want to do. You can try to ignore what's really going on in front of you all you want, but one thing about life is it's not stopping and it always will catch up to you. So if you're making bad decisions and purchasing expensive luxury items because you see other people doing it and you just want to do it, please get out of your feelings. When time bites some of y'all in the butt, you have to just understand that you could have never outran a lot of these problems. I don't want to see anybody in a bad financial situation because they think that they can buy their way into feeling better or buying a collection is going to be the thing. These are items, y'all. Once again, we are constantly being sold obsessions for items and material things and placing our sole value in these things and forgetting that we are what's important, not the items.
Somebody else buy so hard that you don't even want nothing no more. Am I broken? I went on a no-buy. Well, actually, the no-buy went on me when I purchased a home this past December. Perfumes and body care, stuff that I generally like to buy, I was no longer able to buy them. Now this stuff is starting to calm back down and I'm starting to wiggle back in my spot, I'm not compelled to buy anything. None of these fragrance releases have compelled me to actually go out inside of the store, get out my car to go purchase them. And I'm like, I know I ain't depressed this time, at least. I haven't felt compelled to even buy samples. Even the stuff that I do buy, it's like stuff that I have to get. I don't have a list of stuff I want. All of these perfumes are smelling the same. Maybe I've been doing this so long, but my nose associates to something, to everything, and it's like, this smells like this, so I don't need this. Am I the only one?
A few of the things that I think you can do to stop overconsumption of perfume is, if you know you have a problem and you're overspending on perfume, block all of the TikTokers, block all of the YouTubers, whoever that are promoting the overconsumption of products. If you see every week there is a person who you feel something inside of you every time they talk makes you want to go buy whatever it is that they're promoting, block them. Stop watching. Get them up out of there. Stop watching stuff that triggers you to go overspend and overconsume on perfume. Another thing I think would be useful is making a wish list for perfumes, but sitting on it for a little while and then asking yourself, is this really something that you want? Reevaluate the price. Consider how long you'll have to actually go out and work to get this perfume, and just keep asking yourself, is it something that you really find worth it? And if so, then go ahead if it's within your budget. Another thing you may have to do is set aside a budget. Now, I know you might not be able to afford the big bottle of your perfume. Maybe you don't need the big bottle. Maybe you can just get a little bottle, but you need to do whatever is within your budget. And if you find that those big bottles is outside of your budget, or those very high-end perfumes are outside of your budget, you just need to keep saving and saving until you can actually afford that. Don't go out and get it anyway just because you want it, because y'all, these emotions that y'all have and then y'all going out and spending money emotionally like you have endless money, y'all, it has to stop. You have to have some self-accountability when you're going out here and spending this money, y'all. I know we all want nice things. We want what we want, but we have to be realistic. These people that y'all are watching online, some of them are being sent these perfumes because they're perfume influencers, which I totally understand. That's a whole business. But if you're a regular person and you're spending every paycheck you have on perfumes and things like that, and you're not setting yourself up for the future, or you don't have a budget, this can get very expensive and very dangerous. Another thing you can do is go smell the samples, y'all. They have samples like in the mall. The people in the mall always fanning some perfume in my face whenever I go over there. Like, go sample the perfumes, get a smell, see what you like before you go buying all these perfumes that everybody is swearing is the best perfume of the summer or the year or whatever the case may be, because you are going to be using your real dollars to do it, and you may not even like the perfume. Another thing you can do is give yourself like a limit of 10 perfumes total. Maybe you have like a 1 in and 1 out type of thing going on, so you can always keep them in rotation, and 10 is more than enough fragrances, in my opinion, to have some variety. I can't say what that number is for everybody, but maybe you don't need 200. To say that 100 to 200 bottles of perfume is necessary is not true, because to be totally honest, no amount of perfume is necessary, because this is a want. These are not basic things you need to survive. But I do understand this is a hobby for a lot of people, but unless you really have the money, please stop going going out and acting like these people you see online because you're not them, and that is perfectly fine. It is okay to be yourself. It is okay to live your normal lifestyle and to not have these lavish perfume collections. Again, these are not your values as a person. These perfumes and these fragrances do not make you who you are. These are items. I understand these pressures to do all these different things come from every which way, but don't put the pressure on yourself. We got to start making better decisions in order to have a better future.